Mayor Lee, supervisors, come on up. And while they're doing that, let's get started. What a beautiful, beautiful day. Give yourselves a round of applause. It's fantastic. I want you to know that this is like winning a pennant. And how about those San Francisco Giants? Hey, way to go. I actually want to, Marco Scooter will wannabe, but it's not going to work. So today I'm going to settle for the City Librarian Luis Herrera, and I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to our ceremony today. This is indeed a milestone because it's not only the beginning of construction to a beautiful new library, but it's also the end of the Branch Library Improvement Program, which means that it's a long time coming. Yes, absolutely. What it means is that San Franciscans wanted to have beautiful libraries throughout the city that were seismically safe, that were fully accessible, and this is the last project. And I want to especially thank the North Beach community for your patience, for your persistence, and for your perseverance to have a state-of-the-art library here in your neighborhood. Thank you so very much. And let's talk a little bit about this library. It's going to be 60% larger than the other library that sits over there. 60% larger. That means more books, more media, wonderful technology, Wi-Fi access. If you sort of envision this space, if you look that way, you'll have a wonderful adult area. As you walk in from the Mason Street side, back here you'll have an amazing teen center, a teen space for all our young adults. Absolutely. Yelling back here. That was Jill Bourne, our Deputy City Librarian, so what can we say? All right. Back towards the end, a wonderful space for children. You know, this North Beach Library serves over 30,000 diverse residents, and it's way overdue to have a state-of-the-art library. But the other thing that's beautiful about this, it really is a true partnership with our city departments. And I want to especially thank our DPW folks, Mohammed Nuru and his team, Mindy Linetsky, Lena Chen, the fantastic work in managing this project. And another superb partner in Phil Ginsburg, Recon Park, Karen Monty Brodak. Thank you. This is going to be an amazing space that ties together the Joe DiMaggio Park, and you'll hear more about that. But it's wonderful to know that it really creates one of the more amazing civic spaces for North Beach. And it wouldn't happen without fantastic support from the community. Julie Christensen, a shout out to you for all your great work in mobilizing this effort. So throughout this ceremony, we're going to celebrate and pay tribute to all the wonderful folks that are making it happen. So without further ado, person that not only as prior Director of Public Works, City Administrator, and now wonderful Mayor for our city that's been terrifically supportive of our library, let's welcome warmly Mayor Ed Lee. Mayor.
How's everybody doing? All right. Well, let me begin by saying, Luis, congratulations. But you know, when you're as successful as you've been with the Library Commission, it's kind of like winning the first World Series. We're not satisfied with just one project. Even though there's 24 of these that have been completed with this one, and the proper use of our library bonds program beginning from the year 2000 with the great partnership of DPW and so forth, there's more partnerships to be built, because guess what we're doing with these wonderful bonds that our public approves? We're honoring these kids' future. This is a place where there's going to be invent, sharing, yes, exploring, meeting. Oh gosh, what else did we miss? Yes, meeting and sharing, exploring, inventing, and reading. Oh, of course. And we're just going to have so much of this. And I'm so happy to be working with supervisors who also know this, because we are working together on things that you believe in. And I'm waiting for the chance when Board President Chiu and Scott Wiener have their kids, and when they come to the North Beach Branch Library, they're going to remember this day when they bring their kids up to the front and say, Mayor Lee and Luis Herrera, Mohammed, Nuru, and Julie Christensen, and the Arts Commission, everybody worked together to get this done. And by the way, more is to come when we all work together, because today is about a confirmation. The biggest thanks goes to the parents and the residents of North Beach. 10 years it took us to get to this place. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of winding and turning. And if it wasn't for people who kept the eye on the ball like Julie and others who I met years ago, and we looked each other in the eye when I was at DPW, said, we're going to get this done. And we're going to make it an even better library. Because libraries are no longer what they are. They are centers for our communities. They are safe. They're seismically safe. They're going to have the most modern equipment for our kids to grow up and do all the things that we promised them to do to become even better residents. And the thing that keeps me going and keeps everybody else going in collaboration is we're doing it for you. It's not about us. It's not about announcements, about things that are politically smart for us to do. It's about the future of this city. And with these 24 branches, and now the smart thing to do, you connect it up with great parks. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Because the vision, Julie didn't have a vision of just having a great center library, right? Our neighborhoods aren't going to just accept that to be the end. It's to connect it up with world-class parks. That's what Prop B is all about. That's why we work together. And then when we get through with that, when all the construction is done and we've got people employed and working with labor, Mohammed comes in and smooths out Columbus Avenue. Because I just rode that street and it feels like a construction road. We got to get all these roads built. And this is what Scott Wiener and others worked on so much. We have these bonds. We have the opportunity to talk with everybody, unite everybody around. And then it's up to us in government to have listened carefully and be responsible with your money and get the job done. Are we ready to get the job done? Yeah. Are we ready to build the future for our kids? Are we ready to support the great parks in San Francisco with Proposition B? Yeah. All right, let's go forward. Let's get another Series 1. Let's keep our San Francisco successful. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mayor. Woo! All right, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Boy, we're going to have a celebration this morning. He reminded me, though, that it is about community spaces, too. So take a moment and look up. Look up, because that's where that meeting room will be in this building. On the second floor, with after-hour access for all the poets, all the kids' story time, all the various activities. So it's going to be fantastic. Want to also continue our theme of partnerships and teamwork by acknowledging the great staff that's put it all together and is going to continue to offer services here in the neighborhood at our current library. And I see Robert Carlson. Robert, would you wave? He's a great community advocate here, does a terrific job. Other members of the team, beginning with our Chief of Branches, Edward Melton. Edward, great work. Elsie Wong, another district manager, helping put it all together. Thank you for the fantastic job that all of you do. More partners from our city family. I know that our attorney team, John Malamet, is here. Congratulations to all the hard work. Susan Knowles, Cleveland Knowles, as well as Michael Jacinto. Michael, thank you for helping us through the entire environmental impact reports and all that took many, many years of dedicated work. We really appreciate that. And without further ado, also terrific support from the very, very beginning of his tenure as district supervisor here in North Beach. President of the board, District Supervisor David Chiu. David, thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning. The sun is shining on North Beach today. I am so happy to be here. I think it's amazing that in the week we celebrate the Giants, we are also celebrating a real tribute to the best baseball legend in history, Joe DiMaggio. As our librarian just said, the very first meeting I took, even before I was sworn in, after I was elected, was about this library. And I got to tell you, that was only 4 years of a 10-year struggle. There have been hundreds of meetings coming together. There are high school students today who were preschool students when we started this conversation. And I have to tell you, as we all know, it takes a village to raise our kids, but it has taken many villages to build this library. I want to start first and foremost by thanking 3 mothers who helped to lead Friends of Joe DiMaggio. You guys ready? Julie Christensen, Lizzie Diaz, Lizzie Hirsch, thank you for all that you have done. And I also want to take a moment and thank all the parents who are here of all the different schools that we have. Yes, Gene Parker, Francisco Middle School, Garfield, St. Peter and Paul, Yickwa, what am I missing? Sherman, Telegraph Hill, Yeehall. Thank you all for what you're doing. I also want to thank those of you who have been advocating for our seniors and our disabled, our parks advocates, our library advocates, and of course, our city staff. And we have a lot of acronyms today, but DPW, Rec and Park, our mayor, our library, planning, thank you all for what you've done. Let me just close by saying that our work is not done. And if you remember, we had opponents who fought this library, who delayed our being here by years, by millions of dollars, and by lawsuits. Some of them may be running to be Supervisor District 3. And some of them are opposing Proposition B. Boo! They are fighting our kids, they're fighting our families, they're fighting the next generation. But shame on them, that's right. And so let me just say, we've done a lot of chants over the last month here in San Francisco that go like this: let's go Giants. I have one more chant for all of you, okay? It goes like this: let's go Prop B, let's go Joe D. You ready, kids? Let's go Prop B, let's go Joe D. Let's go Prop B, let's go Joe D. Let's go Prop B, let's go Joe D. Thank you so much.
All right, is there high energy today? It's fantastic. A couple of other colleagues, peers in the city family. Tom DeCagney, who is our Arts Commission Executive Director. Let's give him a round of applause. Tom, thank you for joining us. We have a partnership with the Arts Commission in that every new building has public art. And I don't know if our artist for North Beach is here, but he's a sound artist, and I want to call out his name, Bill Fontana. So we're excited about his work and the opportunity to have beautiful art as part of the project. So Bill, thank you. Also, we talked about how important access is to our neighborhood libraries. And today we have our acting director in the Mayor's Office of Disability, Carla Johnson. Carla, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here today. Our next supervisor also does not need much of an introduction because he's at every single library opening, a terrific and staunch supporter and advocate for libraries, Supervisor Scott Wiener. Scott, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Luis, and congratulations to everyone on this great day moving forward. As Luis mentioned, I go to the library openings partly because all the libraries in my district were done by the time I took office, so I have library opening envy, and so I go around, I love seeing these happy days. But, you know, this project in particular, North Beach Library and Joe DiMaggio, has had a special place in my heart, and I have been especially an outspoken supporter of this project. And in fact, when we were putting together Prop B, the Parks Bond, when we needed to make room in the bond for Joe DiMaggio, I actually went to the Rec and Park Commission to advocate that Joe DiMaggio be included, even though it wasn't in my district. And some people have asked me, Scott, why do you care so much about this project when it's not even in your district? And of course, we might be representing districts, but we're one city fundamentally. And just like your great supervisor, David Chiu, supports things that happen in my district. I want to support North Beach. I want to support this part of the city. But even more important, this project, this fight about the North Beach Library, about Joe DiMaggio, fundamentally was about whether we were going to be moving forward as a city, whether we were going to focus just on the past or also on the future of our city, whether we were going to focus on what recreation was like 25 or 50 years ago, or what needs to happen today and in the future in San Francisco. And we won that battle, and we sent a clear message that this city has a strong future for everyone, and we're going to make it happen. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks. Appreciate it. Did I mention that the library is thriving? Did I mention that last year we had 7.2 million visitors to our libraries? I think it's exciting to know that. And it's also the only large urban library that did not suffer any reductions, any cutbacks during the economic downturn. That says so much about San Franciscans that truly value your library, and you provided that stable funding. So thank you again for all your terrific support. And with that, I'd like to call to the mic our great partner at the Department of Public Works and the folks that oversee the entire construction and management of the projects, Mohammed, Nuru. Mohammed. All right, Mo. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Are you excited as I am? All right. Let me just start by thanking the community for this long-awaited project. We went through several hoops. It's been 10 years. We've gone through almost every commission. We went through the legal battle, and you all stood with us, and we are here today to break ground on this great library. Big hand for all those who put that effort in. This project is the 24th library that our agency has been involved in. We have renovated 16 libraries, and we have built 6 new ones. The 23rd is in Bayview in my neighborhood, and that will be ready for groundbreaking in January, and now for completion or opening in January, and now we're groundbreaking on this project. As part of this project, you will be getting a 2-story library. It will be designed for LEED Silver or greater. It will be very sustainable, and opposed to the old library, it will be ready for the big one, the earthquake. It will be seismically fit for any sort of earthquake. The library also, as many of you know, and something Mayor Lee has put forth in his leadership as mayor, is it will bring jobs. It will bring a lot of jobs, and this library will be the first library to undergo the new local hiring law. That means that 25% of San Franciscans will be working on this project. Big hand for Mayor Lee and the Board of Supervisors for their leadership. As part of our team, I'd like to thank our management team, Fawad Swiss, our Deputy Director for Engineering, Edgar Lopez. Under his direction, Lena Chen and her team have been doing a wonderful job, and they will be making sure that we deliver this project on time and on budget, as we have done in other projects. The architect, Marsha Madam of Lady Madam Stacy Architects, has been with us from the beginning of this project since 2003, and she worked very hard with the community, and the design is a very sustainable design. There will be great views of North Beach from all sides of the library, and it's going to be a very, very beautiful building. I am very proud to be part of that, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. Big hand to the architects. The contractors who prepared the event for today and are ready to get going, CLW. We have worked with them on many of the Rec and Park projects and many of the library projects, and they will be delivering these projects, and I'm just so happy because they have done great work with us, and I just want to extend my appreciation to them. Big hand for CLW, please. And of course, where is Dennis Oates? Is Dennis Oates here? Dennis, this guy you see over here, he's going to be here every day making sure that the project is done well and built as spec. Dennis Oates, please let everybody know him. If you have any questions about this library, that's the man to talk to. Dennis Oates, all right. And lastly, I just want to especially thank Luis and his staff. I mean, Luis, in so many meetings, had the opportunity to change the course or do something different. And he stuck there all the way. he continued to encourage us. This is what I want. We need to get it. And all the battles that we went through, Luis was there, and he made very good, sound decisions, him, along with the Library Commission, and that's why we're here today for a great project. Big hand for Luis for his leadership in the library. And of course, the project will be a library and a park, and we need to do more projects like that in San Francisco. So joining everyone, I'm looking forward to this groundbreaking, and I'm looking forward to coming back for the grand opening. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. We definitely have a mutual admiration society among all department heads. Our next department head, he and I take the show on the road to promote literacy and to promote parks. So I'll let him tell you the story. Phil Ginsburg. Phil.
Well, thank you, Luis. His alter ego, what we call each other, he is Mr. Books, I am Mr. Parks, and this gentleman over here is Mr. Clean. It is such a joy to be here today, everyone. You know, it has been an incredibly celebratory week, and I can think of no better way to cap it off. There's been a lot of talk this week about team and putting team before self. And that is happening not just on the ball field at AT&T Park, but it's happening in our city. And we are so incredibly blessed to have the city leadership that we have right now in Mayor Lee and President Chiu, in Supervisor Wiener, and in the entire Board of Supervisors. You know, it's a very unique time in city government. In no time that I've been involved in the city has both the mayor and the board work together to focus on helping families thrive through better parks, through better streets, through better libraries. And our city leadership deserves such a big round of applause for taking these steps. I also really want to single out our partnership with Mr. Parks and the library. This is how cities are supposed to be. I don't know if many of you had the opportunity to come and join us at the West Sunset ribbon cutting when we jointly opened the Ortega Public Library and the West Sunset Playground. In this beautiful space on the western part of the city, a sunny day just like this, we celebrated a community hub with a brand new library, a brand new playground, schools all around the neighborhood. This is how cities are supposed to be. We did it actually out in the Sunset at Terraville Library and McCoppin Park. And this might just be the crown jewel of them all. If Proposition B passes, it's $5.5 million to, at long last, rebuild Joe DiMaggio Playground and create for this space all of the incredible potential that it has. My very, very first day on the job, my very first day as the Recreation and Park Director, I actually met with Luis and a couple of members of my staff, and they said to me, there are only 6 words you need to know. That's it. Do you remember them? There are only 6 words you need to know, and that is, the library belongs on the triangle. And here we are on the triangle. So my last big thank you, and actually before I give my last thanks, I do want to recognize Rec and Park Commissioner Alan Lowe, who is here, who's been a great leader on our capital program. And we can't do it without the Planning Department and the Planning Commission, and Planning Commissioner Cindy Wu is also here. Thank you, Cindy. But my last big thank you is to you, is to the Friends of Joe DiMaggio Playground and the neighbors here that have fought and fought and fought. You know, the Giants actually opened up at AT&T Park in 2000, and it took 12 years, or it took 10 years for our first World Championship, right? 10 years. Well, it has taken 10 years, Julie, to get to this spot right now. So thank you, Friends of Joe DiMaggio Playground. Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you, Lizzie. Thanks to all of you for your persistence, and thanks for putting the community above your own self-interest, because quite frankly, a lot of the kids are old and in college now when this project started. But for our next generation, I'm so happy we've stuck together. This is an amazing, inspired project. Thanks to all of you for making our city great. Yes on B.
Thank you, Phil. What he didn't complete the story was that we go out to neighborhood schools and do readings, so it's always a lot of fun to do the Poet in the Pocket once a year. Our next leader gives many, many hours of dedicated volunteer service to leading the commission. leading the vision for the library for not only the Branch Library Improvement Program, but for all the array of services and programs that we provide. It's my honor and pleasure to work side by side with her, our Commission President, Jewel Gomez. Jewel.
Thank you so much. What I want to do today, in addition to thanking my fellow commissioners, Teresa Ono and Michael Nguyen here, and thanking the mayor and our supervisors, what I usually like to do is to remind all of us that this is sacred ground. The people who came before most of us, the native people who came before us, believed that this ground was sacred, and no one is an owner. We are stewards of this ground. The dirt that you're going to play in and plant in is the legacy that those people have left us. It's really appropriate, I think, that we have gone to all corners of the city. We've gone east and south and west, and we conclude here in the north with our final blessing of this land. Here in North Beach, the home of so many wonderful poets and authors, writers, who bring great honor to this land. And there is nothing I can think of more honorable than a library that will bring together all the worlds that we know and many worlds that we don't yet know will all be on this land for all of us for years to come. Thank you so much for your support. We're going to continue to need it as we go forward building. Thank you.
Thank you, Jewel. And I see another former Library Commission President and former Commissioner, Charles Higueras. Thank you for your great service as well. When we talk about partnerships, there's no other group that better defines partnerships for the city and support and that public-private partnership than the Friends of the San Francisco Public Library. They have been instrumental in providing a grassroots effort to provide the funding for all of our furniture, all of our fixtures, all of the equipment. It truly owns our libraries in that regard. It's my pleasure to introduce the Executive Director of the Friends of the Library, Scott Staub. Scott.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. And as Luis says, we've had this fantastic public-private partnership for 23 branches. And now it's your opportunity if you want to join over 4,400 other San Franciscans that have raised $12.7 million for other branches. We invite you to join us back at the tent, and Catherine's waving her arms where you can join us in the North Beach campaign. We've got John Briscoe, our honorary chair, who's going to help lead that, along with our board of directors, Camilla Smith, Charles Higueras, Stephen Kaufman, Carol Goodman. And we haven't done this along. I would like to just take a moment to quickly acknowledge our partner organizations, the Friends of Joe DiMaggio Playground, Chinatown Community Development, our Russian Hill neighbors, Families for North Beach Playgrounds, the Committee for Better Parks and Recreation for North Beach, the Community Youth Center, Telegraph Hill Neighborhood Center, Sherman Elementary PTA, Yik Guo Elementary PTA, the Francisco Middle School PTO, John Yihal Chin School, Saints Peter and Paul Salesian School, John Parker Elementary and Garfield Elementary. And also please thank Terry Garchik and Lee Groveland. They helped underwrite the band we heard this morning. And Victoria Pastry Cake donated the cake. So make sure you eat some cake, and we hope you'll join us in our campaign for North Beach. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. We're almost there. Oh, former Commissioner Lonnie Chin, stalwart in our Chinatown community, our wonderful, wonderful supporter. Thank you, Lonnie, for being here. We're almost there. One more individual. She's already been mentioned. It's a perfect tribute, a capstone to the library, working with the Joe DiMaggio folks, Julie Christensen. Julie.
So can I get my village up here? Jill, Karen, Lizzie, I saw Bill, Amy, Liz Diaz. Can you guys come on up here? I've been fielding all the thanks, but it doesn't really belong to me. It belongs to all these people. Who else is here? Terry Grinchick. Who else is here from our group? June Frapps. Come on up. Who am I missing? Terry, get up here. Lee, come on. So we have a couple of city folks. Where's Karen and Jill? Greg Scott, get up here. Greg, get up here. So I want to point out Jill Bourne, Karen Monty Brodak. Jill is the deputy city librarian. Karen is the deputy director for parks planning, Rec Park. These two women are the fairy godmothers of this project. Yes. We would not be here without all the people you just heard from, but we would not be here without them. Give them a big round of applause if you would. We've also got on city staff our aquatic director, Greg Scott, who's been here with all of us. And let's see, who else did we get up here? Huh? Oh, Mindy. Well, Mindy's on my list. So I am the last speaker. They're gonna try to limit me to the public hearing 3 minutes. I'm gonna try to stick to that. Probably not. So I just want to mention, after I'm finished, we're gonna turn some dirt. We got a food truck out there because we did not want anybody to go hungry. They've made an effort to come out here today to keep us nourished. You guys patronize them if you will. Mal Sharpe and his band are going to be back playing after the speeches, so hang around and party down. I just have a few people I need to thank. I'll do the short list. Of course, the mayor. Mayor Lee's had a lot of celebrating to do this week. We're really grateful he's here. Our District 3 Supervisor, David Chiu, his staff, Judson True, Catherine Rauschuber, Amy Chan, they never pick up the phone or answer an email without saying, what do you need and what can I do? Our head librarian, Luis Herrera, we were the first library on the list. We'll be the last one in the current branch library program to be completed. A lot of hard decisions, a lot of tough moments. He stood with us. Phil Ginsburg, the Rec Park General Manager. Phil personally replied to a request for help this week by saying, one dream, one team. That's Phil. We're moving forward. Our DPW Director, Mohammed Nuru, the last time I saw Mohammed on this site, he was in a sweatshirt pushing a wheelbarrow when we turned Mason Street into a temporary park. Our department heads have stood with us. So Jill, Karen, besides them, Gary Hoy, who was at the time Capital Planning Manager for Rec Park, he thought this idea up. We don't know whether to curse him or bless him, but by thinking outside the box, he put us on the footing to today. So many names: Dawn Kamalanathan, Mindy Linetsky. Mindy's seen us through this entire project. Lena Chen, who's going to be the manager for the project. Michael Jacinto from Planning, John Malamet from the City Attorney's Office. Michelle Jeffers and Mary Abler. Michelle's with the library, Mary's with the Friends of the Library. They put on this event today. Our commissioners, Rec Park, Planning, Library, who have voted unanimously, some of them more than once, for this project. Our Board of Supervisors, who stood with us. The architects, Marcia Madam and Richard Stacy, Christina Marsh, and a special thanks to Aaron Brumo, who has done so much to help us on this project. But you know, that's the city side of this public-private partnership, and I've got to be fair in saying that this project has lasted through the terms of 2 supervisors, 2 head librarians, 3 mayors, and 4 Rec Park general managers. The heart of this project, the constant thing, has been the heart of this neighborhood, has been our volunteers and our people. So I want to introduce June Frapps, Liz Diaz, Amy Miles, Bill Cullen, Martha Mahoney, who also does our Halloween. Who else have I got? Terry Grencheck. Did I get every? Except, no, I saved Lizzie. Come here, Lizzie. So few people know, this is Lizzie Hirsch. She's been there. She was one of the founders of the Friends of Joe D in 1997. What started with planting a little grass on the children's playground has greatly expanded. Few people know that the movie Thelma and Louise is actually a highly fictionalized account of Lizzie's and I's adventures in civic endeavor. Now, most of it's wildly exaggerated, way overstated, except for the driving off the cliff part. We've done that more than once. So, yay, Lizzie. And I'm almost done. Acknowledge our sister organizations. Where's Tan Chow? Tan, you won't come up here, but I want at least a hand. There's Tan hiding in the back. Tan Chow of the Chinatown Community Development Center. Tan is one of the hardest working neighborhood activists and one of the smartest political operatives I know. I learn something every time I talk to him, and we've really used his help on this project. Tina Moylan of the Russian Hill Neighbors wasn't able to be here today, but her colleagues Phoebe and Dan are. Where are you guys? And we really thank the Russian Hill Neighbors for standing by us. Our sister organizations, all the schools, Nestor from the Telegraph Hill Neighborhood Center. We are honored at the number of people who have stood by us on this project. A special shout out to our families, to the spouses and the children that have had to work around and make do for so long while we were away doing something else. A special thanks to my husband, Greg Smith. Where's Greg? Greg actually let us cut his birthday trip to Hawaii short by a day and to fly back on his birthday so that I could be here today. So if you guys wouldn't mind just saying happy birthday, Greg. Happy birthday, Greg! We'll see if I can make it up. So this is a threshold, a beginning, a start. We're going to build a new library. There are a couple of other starts today. Today is the start of the effort to raise money to furnish and equip that library. Now, the Friends of the Library has done an incredible job of doing that with 23 other branches. We're the last. We don't want to tiredly limp over that finish line. We want to show them what our neighborhood can do. So you're going to be getting the ask. The ask is going to be to help with that effort to furnish our library, to equip it, to make it the best library in the city of San Francisco. So stay tuned. We need your help again. One more, and that's Prop B. How many people are going to vote in this election? Can I see a show of hands? How many people are going to vote for Prop B? Okay, how many of you can think of at least 2 or 3 or 4 people in the next couple of days that you can talk to make sure they're voting for Prop B? Because that's what it's going to take. We are within 1 or 2 percentage points of victory. The people you talk to could be the people that make the difference in that election. I want to thank the mayor and our supervisor and Phil Ginsburg and Don Kamalanathan for putting us on that bond. Do you want to vote for that bond, or do you want to go raise $5 million the really hard way? Let's get Prop B passed, shall we? So, we're going to turn some dirt, and we're going to start a library. Thank you all for being here today. You made this happen.
Thank you, Julie. Okay. Well done, Julie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Mr. Mayor, we can have the honor. Yes. District Supervisors, Mohammed, Phil, come on down here. Julie, grab yourself a shovel, and then we're going to have a countdown. Are we ready? All right, let's have a countdown on the count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. North Beach Library.